The chapel fell silent as Korean Mafia boss Kang Min lifted the veil from his bride's face. His hand froze. Breath caught. This wasn't possible. The woman standing before him, the bride no one wanted, the one he'd agreed to marry sight unseen, was her. The baker who planned this wedding. The woman he fell dangerously in love with over 8 forbidden weeks. The face that haunted him for 3 years. The stranger who pulled him from a burning car and vanished before he could learn her name. His carefully controlled expression cracked as their eyes met. She recognized him too. Her bouquet trembled. 200 witnesses just watched their world detonate. Before we begin today's story, I have a small favor to ask. Please hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our channel's new videos. It's quick, free, and the best way to support us in bringing you more dramatic stories. Your support means the world to us. Where are you watching from? Drop your city or country in the comments below. Thank you very much. Now let's get back to our main character. The chapel is silent except for the rustle of silk and the quiet breath of 200 witnesses. Kang Min stands at the altar in a perfectly tailored black suit, his face carved from stone. He is 34, devastatingly handsome in the way dangerous things often are, sharp jawline, eyes that miss nothing, the kind of stillness that makes people nervous. His hands don't shake as he reaches for the veil. They should, because in 3 seconds his carefully constructed world, built on duty, honor, and blood, is about to shatter. He lifts the lace and freezes. The woman beneath the veil has honey-brown skin, dark eyes wide with their own shock, and a small scar on her left wrist that he's searched for across 2 continents for 3 years. His voice comes out raw, barely a whisper. You. Barbara Hayes stares back at the most powerful man in LA's Korean underworld. The man whose wedding cake she baked 2 months ago. The man she fell impossibly in love with. The man she walked away from for honor's sake. The man whose life she saved 3 years ago on a rain-slicked highway before disappearing into the night. Her lips form his name, but no sound comes out. The officiant clears his throat, confused by the pause. Kang Min's hand moves to her face, trembling now, his thumb tracing the line of her jaw like he's checking if she's real. His eyes are blazing with something between fury and wonder. How? He breathes. But to understand how they arrived at this impossible moment, we need to go back. Back to where it started. 3 months earlier. Barbara wipes flour from her cheek, leaving a white streak she doesn't notice. It's 4 a.m. The bakery kitchen glows warm against the LA darkness outside. She's been awake since 2, hands deep in dough, trying to outrun her thoughts the way she has for the past year. Baking saved her after Marcus. After the text message that came 20 minutes before she was supposed to walk down the aisle. Can't do this. Sorry. You deserve better. 200 guests waiting. Her mother crying in the bathroom. The photographer asking if they should start packing up. Barbara learned that humiliation has a taste, bitter, metallic, like blood in your mouth when you bite your tongue to keep from screaming. She learned that you deserve better is what cowards say when they mean, I found someone else. And she learned that the worst part isn't the leaving. It's that everyone saw it happen. Her phone buzzes. A text from her business partner, Sophia. Emergency client. Needs wedding cake. High profile. Very high profile. $50,000 budget. He'll be there at 6 a.m. Barbara glances at the clock. 4:17 a.m. She texts back. Who shows up at 6 a.m. for a wedding consultation? Sophia's response is immediate. The kind of man who doesn't hear no. Be nice. We need this. Barbara touches the chain around her neck where Marcus's engagement ring still hangs. A diamond she can't bring herself to sell or throw away. Her daily reminder of her own stupidity. She takes a breath. One more difficult client. She can handle it. She has no idea she just agreed to meet the man who will destroy and rebuild her entire world. Kang Min arrives exactly 3 minutes late. Barbara knows immediately he did it on purpose. A power play. A test to see if she'll comment on it. She doesn't. He's wearing a black suit that probably costs more than her monthly rent, moving through her small bakery like a panther in a birdcage. Too large, too dangerous, barely contained. 3 men in dark suits wait outside. She notices the bulge of weapons under their jackets. Ms. Hayes, he says, his accent barely noticeable, soul wrapped around California edges. He doesn't offer his hand. I'm told you're the best. I'm told you're difficult, Barbara replies, meeting his eyes. Most people look away from Kang Min. His gaze is too intense, too assessing, like he's calculating exactly how much force it would take to break you. Barbara doesn't look away. Something flickers across his face. Surprise, maybe respect. I need a wedding cake, he says. Traditional Korean. 7 tiers. For 200 guests. In 8 weeks. That's not much time. I'm aware. Can you do it? Barbara pulls out her portfolio. But Kong Min isn't looking at her work. He's looking at her. At the chain around her neck. The ring hidden beneath her shirt collar catching the light. You're engaged, he observes. Barbara corrects, the word sharp. Is there a problem? No, he sits across from her, suddenly all business. I need this wedding to be perfect. Traditional. Elegant. My bride arrives from Korea in 6 weeks. We have 8 weeks until the ceremony. You're marrying someone you've never met? An arrangement between families. My father made the commitment before he died. I'm honoring it. Barbara opens her laptop, professional mask firmly in place. Tell me about your bride. Her favorite flavors, colors, what she... I don't know her favorite anything, Kong Min interrupts. That's not what this is. Then what is it? He leans back, studying her with those unsettling eyes. Honest. My bride, Minji, understands what she's agreeing to. No false promises. No romantic delusions. Just a partnership that benefits both families. Barbara thinks of Marcus's text. All those promises of forever that evaporated like morning fog. At least you're honest, she says quietly. You weren't given the same courtesy. It's not a question. Barbara's hand moves unconsciously to the ring beneath her shirt. That's none of your business, Mr. Kong. Min, he corrects. And you're right. But I noticed things, Ms. Hayes. Like the way you said, when I asked about your engagement. Like the fact you're wearing a ring you clearly hate around your neck instead of on your finger. Like the way your hand shakes, just slightly, when you talk about weddings. Her hand is shaking. Barbara closes it into a fist. This consultation is about your wedding, not my past. Fair enough. He pulls out a black card, slides it across the table. I want to hire you for the full wedding. Not just the cake. Planning, coordination, everything. I'm a baker, not a wedding planner. You were a wedding planner. For 4 years. Before you opened this bakery. Barbara's blood runs cold. You had me investigated? I investigate everyone I do business with. He says it like it's reasonable. Like invasion of privacy is just due diligence. You were one of the top planners in LA. You closed your business after your wedding fell apart. Poured everything into this bakery instead. Get out. Sophia needs the money, Kong Min continues unmoved. Your bakery is 3 months behind on rent. The landlord is threatening eviction. This contract would solve that problem. Barbara stands, fury overriding fear. How dare you? $200,000, he says calmly. For 8 weeks of work. Plus, I'll pay off your bakery's debt directly. You'll own this building free and clear. The number hits her like a physical blow. $200,000. Freedom from the debt that's been crushing her for a year. The ability to actually breathe. Why? She asks, suspicious. Why me? Kong Min stands, buttoning his jacket. For a moment, something raw flickers across his face. Something almost vulnerable. Because you understand what it's like to honor a commitment even when your heart isn't in it, he says. Because you'll make this wedding perfect even though it will hurt you to do it. Because you're strong enough to do hard things. He moves toward the door, then pauses. Dinner. Tomorrow night. 8 p.m. To discuss details. I can meet you here during business hours. It wasn't a request, Ms. Hayes. He leaves. Barbara sinks into her chair, heart pounding. She should refuse. Should tell him to take his money and his unsettling intensity and his invasion of her privacy and disappear. But she thinks of Sophia, her business partner who took a chance on her when no one else would. She thinks of the eviction notice hidden in her desk drawer. She thinks of Marcus's ring around her neck and how maybe, this money could finally help her move on. She has no idea she's about to fall in love with a man who belongs to someone else. A man who's been searching for her for 3 years. A man whose world is built on violence, honor, and blood. The restaurant is exclusive, the kind of place where the host knows your name and your table is always ready. Barbara wore her armor. A black dress, her mother's pearls, the kind of outfit that says I'm here for business. Kong Min is already seated, watching her approach like a hawk tracking prey. You're late, he observes. You made me investigate the restaurant first, Barbara replies, sliding into her seat. To make sure it was public and safe. His mouth almost curves into a smile. Smart. I'm not stupid, Mr. Kong. I know what you are. Min. And what am I? Barbara meets his eyes. Dangerous. Yes, he agrees simply. But not to you. A waiter appears with wine Barbara didn't order. After he leaves, she asks, "Are we actually here to discuss the wedding?" Among other things. Such as, you. Kong Min leans forward, his attention so focused it's almost suffocating. Why are you still wearing his ring? Barbara's hand flies to her throat. That's none of my business. I know. You keep saying that. He signals the waiter, orders for both of them without asking what she wants. Normally Barbara would bristle at the presumption, but somehow he's chosen exactly what she would have ordered. You can't plan a wedding when you're still trapped in your own, Kong Min continues. So talk to me. What happened? Why do you care? Because I need you clear-headed, focused, and right now you're haunted. The word lands like an arrow. Perfect, painful. Barbara takes a long sip of wine. His name was Marcus. We were together for 3 years. Engaged for 6 months. Everything was planned. Venue, flowers, my dress. 200 guests. The same number I've invited. Kong Min notes quietly. Yes. Barbara's laugh is bitter. 20 minutes before the ceremony, I got a text. Can't do this. Sorry. You deserve better. I found out later he'd been sleeping with my maid of honor for 4 months. Kong Min's expression darkens, something violent flashing in his eyes. Where is he now? Why? So you can what? Have your men rough him up? Yes. The single word, said so simply, so matter-of-factly, should horrify her. Instead, something warm unfurls in Barbara's chest. He's not worth your time, she says. Or mine. That's what I keep telling myself. But you still wear his ring. I don't know how to let it go. The admission costs her. It's like, if I take it off, then I'm admitting I wasted 3 years. That I was stupid enough to miss all the signs. That you loved someone who didn't deserve it, Kong Min finishes. That's not stupidity. That's courage. Barbara blinks, surprised. Most people don't love fully, he continues. They protect themselves, hold pieces back. You gave everything. That he couldn't recognize the gift doesn't diminish its value. Their food arrives. They eat in silence for a moment. Then Barbara asks, why an arranged marriage? You could have anyone. Could I? His smile is sharp. I'm the head of an organization most people fear. My father built an empire through blood and strategy. When he died 2 years ago, I inherited everything, including his promises. Including Minji, he confirms. He arranged the marriage before he died. The Park family is powerful, influential. This union strengthens both families. That's how our world works. Sounds lonely. It's practical. Minji and I will have a partnership built on clear terms. No expectations of love. No romantic illusions to shatter. No risk, Barbara adds softly. Kong Min's eyes snap to hers. Exactly. That's the saddest thing I've ever heard. Says the woman wearing her ex-fiancé's ring like a punishment. The observation is too accurate, too cutting. Barbara sets down her fork. This was a mistake. I should. Stay. His hand covers hers on the table. The first time he's touched her. His fingers are warm, calloused. Please. The please undoes her. They talk for 3 more hours. About duty and disappointment. About family expectations and personal desires. About the weight of other people's promises. Kong Min tells her about his father. Brilliant, ruthless, beloved. About inheriting an empire he never wanted but couldn't refuse. Barbara tells him about her mother, who still introduces her as my daughter who was supposed to get married last year. Like the wedding defines her more than anything she's accomplished since. At midnight, Kong Min insists on driving her home. In the car, a sleek black Mercedes that probably costs more than Barbara's entire bakery. The air feels charged, dangerous. This can't happen, Barbara says as they pull up to her apartment. What can't happen? Whatever this is. Kong Min shifts to face her, his expression unreadable. And what is this, Barbara? The use of her first name sends heat down her spine. Inappropriate, she whispers. I'm hiring you to plan my wedding. To another woman. To a woman I've never met. For a marriage built on obligation, not affection. That doesn't make this okay. No, he agrees. It doesn't. He reaches over, his fingers finding the chain around her neck. Slowly, carefully, he unclasps it. The ring, Marcus's ring, slides into his palm. What are you? I'll hold on to this for you. Kong-min says, pocketing the chain. Until you're ready to let it go. But you don't carry that weight anymore. Not while you're working for me. Barbara should demand it back. She should slap him, storm out, refuse the contract. Instead, she feels lighter than she has in a year. This is a bad idea, she breathes. Terrible, he agrees. And then he kisses her. It's not gentle. It's not soft. It's consuming. The kind of kiss that rewrites your definition of what a kiss can be. His hand curves around the back of her neck, possessive, claiming. She tastes desperation on his lips, something wild and barely restrained. When they break apart, Barbara's hands are shaking. I should fire you, Kong-min says roughly. You should. I'm not going to. I know. She gets out of the car on unsteady legs, doesn't look back. But she knows they both know that everything just changed. The private terminal at LAX is sterile, impersonal. Barbara shouldn't be here. This is family business, not wedding planner territory. But Kong-min asked her to come. And God help her, she hasn't been able to say no to him for 6 weeks. 6 weeks of late-night phone calls about napkin colors that turn into philosophical debates. 6 weeks of business dinners, where they barely discuss the wedding. 6 weeks of pretending this is professional when every moment they spend together feels like playing with fire. They haven't kissed again. But the wanting, the terrible, constant wanting, hums between them like a live wire. Minji Park emerges from customs with her mother, Mrs. Park. She's beautiful, petite, delicate, with perfect posture and a shy smile. She's wearing a pale pink dress that makes her look like a flower. Barbara hates her on sight. Not because Minji has done anything wrong, but because Minji gets to marry him. Kong-min greets her formally, respectfully. He takes her hand, bows slightly. They speak in Korean, words Barbara doesn't understand. But she understands body language. And there's no spark, no chemistry. Just two attractive people performing their roles. Mrs. Park approaches Barbara, her English perfect. You must be the wedding planner. My daughter speaks highly of your work from the photos Kong-min sent. Thank you, Barbara manages. I'm honored to help. It's a beautiful thing, Mrs. Park continues, watching Minji and Kong-min when two families unite. When duty and honor create lasting bonds. The words feel pointed, deliberate. Later, in the parking garage. After the Parks are safely in their car to the hotel, Kong-min turns to Barbara. You can't look at me like that, he says, his voice strained. Like what? Like you're dying. Like every moment I spend with her is killing you. Barbara's laugh is broken. Isn't it? Barbara. Don't. She steps back. This was always temporary. You told me from the beginning. I knew the rules. Rules change. Not these ones. She forces herself to meet his eyes. You made a promise to your father. To her family. That matters more than whatever this is. Does it? Yes. The word cracks coming out. Because if you break your word, if you leave her the way Marcus left me, you become him. And I can't, I won't, be the reason you become something you're not. Kong-min looks at her like she's just stabbed him. You're saying no, he says slowly. You're choosing duty over. Over what? Love. We don't even know if that's what this is. Maybe it's just proximity. Forbidden fruit. Maybe. He kisses her. Right there in the parking garage, where anyone could see. His hands frame her face, and this kiss is different from the first. This one is pleading, desperate, a question. How can you walk away? When they break apart, Barbara is crying. You have to marry her, she whispers. Please, do the right thing. What if the right thing is choosing you? Then you're not the man I think you are. She leaves him standing there, drives home with tears streaming down her face, knowing she just saved him from becoming Marcus, knowing it's going to destroy her. Barbara wakes to pounding on her apartment door. She opens it to find Kong-min, still in a suit but disheveled, his hair mussed like he's been running his hands through it. I can't do it, he says without preamble. I can't marry her. Min. No. Listen. He steps inside, closing the door behind him. I've spent 3 days trying to convince myself this is cold feet, that I'm nervous about the commitment. But it's not that. You made a promise. To marry someone. Yes. But I didn't promise to pretend I don't love you. The word love hangs between them like a bomb. You don't know me, Barbara protests weakly. We've spent 8 weeks. I know you take your coffee black with 2 sugars. I know you bite your lip when you're concentrating. I know you keep fresh flowers in your apartment every week because your grandmother did. I know you cry at romantic comedies but laugh at horror movies. I know you still check your phone at 3 p.m. every day, because that's when Marcus used to text you, and you hate that you still hope. Barbara's breath catches. I know you saved 3 months of rent money to buy your business partner's daughter a laptop for college. Kong Min continues. I know you volunteer at the women's shelter every Sunday. I know you're terrified of being vulnerable because the last time you were, someone destroyed you. Stop, she whispers. I know you're the woman who pulled me out of a burning car 3 years ago, he says quietly. Who stayed with me until the ambulance came. Who disappeared before I could thank her. Barbara's world tilts. What? Kong Min takes her wrist gently, his thumb tracing the distinctive scar there. A burn mark from hot metal, raised and pale. I've been searching for you, he says. For 3 years. I remembered your face, but I didn't have a name. Didn't know how to find you. And then you walked into that consultation, and I thought I was seeing a ghost. You knew. Barbara's voice is barely audible. This whole time. Not at first. Not until I saw this. He touches the scar. At dinner. And then I was sure. Why didn't you say anything? Because I wanted you to want me for who I am now. Not out of some sense of obligation, because you saved my life. Barbara sinks onto her couch, overwhelmed. Kong Min kneels in front of her, his hands covering hers. I'm calling off the wedding, he says firmly. I'll find another way to honor my father's intentions. But I can't marry Minji when I'm in love with you. You'll humiliate her, Barbara protests. Exactly what Marcus did to me. Minji deserves better, Kong Min interrupts. She deserves someone who can love her completely. Someone who doesn't look at the wedding planner the way I look at you. Her family will be furious. Your reputation. I don't care. You should. Barbara. He cups her face, forcing her to meet his eyes. You told me not to become Marcus. But you're asking me to marry one woman while loving another. How is that any better? She doesn't have an answer. Because he's right. I can't be the reason you break your word, she whispers. You're not. I'm choosing this. I'm choosing you. What if you regret it? Impossible. How can you be sure? His smile is soft, devastating. Because I've spent 3 years searching for you. Because I knew from the moment you pulled me from that car that you were extraordinary. Because every moment since you walked back into my life has confirmed it. Barbara kisses him. And this time she doesn't stop. Barbara wakes tangled in sheets in Kong Min's arms. For one perfect moment, everything is simple. Then reality crashes back. You need to talk to Minji, she says. Today. I know. Her family. I'll handle it. But he doesn't sound confident. For the first time since Barbara met him, Kong Min looks uncertain. They spend the day in her apartment, wrapped in each other, pretending the world outside doesn't exist. But it does. And it's about to come for them. Barbara is at the bakery when Mrs. Park walks in. Alone. Ms. Hayes, she says, her voice gentle. May we speak? Barbara's heart sinks. Of course. They sit at the same table where Barbara first met Kong Min, an irony that isn't lost on her. The engagement is cancelled, Mrs. Park says without preamble. Barbara's coffee cup freezes halfway to her lips. I'm sorry, what? My daughter saw the way Kong Min looks at you. At the airport. At the cake tasting yesterday. At every interaction. Mrs. Park's smile is sad. She asked me if I would let her marry a man who loves someone else. Mrs. Park, I never meant. I told her no, Mrs. Park continues. Because I made that mistake. I married a man who loved another woman. Spent 30 years watching him look at me and wish I was her. She reaches across the table, covering Barbara's hand. My daughter deserves better. They both do. He made a promise. Barbara protests weakly. Sometimes honoring a promise means understanding its spirit, not its letter. His father wanted him happy, secure, partnered with someone strong. He made the arrangement because Kong Min was alone, closed off, refusing to let anyone in after the accident. The accident, Barbara repeats slowly. Mrs. Park's eyes sharpen. The car crash. 3 years ago, when he nearly died. You know about this? Yes. His father thought he'd lost his ability to love, to trust. The arranged marriage was meant to give him partnership without requiring vulnerability. Mrs. Park squeezes her hand. But then he met you. And everything changed. Barbara's throat tightens. I don't want to cause problems for your family. You're not. You're solving one. Mrs. Park stands graceful. We release him from the obligation. Officially. With our blessing. Why are you telling me this? Why not Kong Min? Because he'll come to you now. And I want you to understand. His father would approve. This isn't betrayal. It's evolution. After she leaves, Barbara sits in the empty bakery shaking. Free. They're free. Her phone rings. Kong Min. Mrs. Park was here, Barbara says immediately. I know. She called me. His voice is rough with emotion. Barbara, we're free. Yes. Can I come over? Please. He's there in 15 minutes. And this time when he holds her, there's no guilt. No hesitation. Just them. Finally. They're in Kong Min's penthouse when the call comes. He answers in Korean, his body language shifting instantly, coiled, dangerous. When he hangs up, his face is grim. What's wrong? Barbara asks. The jock. He runs a hand through his hair. A rival organization. They know about you. What does that mean? It means you're in danger. He's already moving, pulling out his phone, barking orders. I need to get you somewhere safe. Now. Min. They'll use you to get to me. That's how this works. He finally looks at her, and his eyes are devastated. I should have protected you better. Should have kept you secret. I'm not a secret, Barbara says firmly. I'm your partner. Whatever this is, we face it together. You don't understand what you're saying. Then explain it to me. He does. For the next hour, Kong Min tells her everything. About his organization. Not quite mafia. Not quite legitimate business. Something in between. About the protection they provide to Korean businesses in LA. About the rivals who want his territory. About the violence he's tried to leave behind, but that keeps finding him. I've been transitioning things, he says. Moving toward legitimate businesses. But it takes time. And some people don't want to let me go. The jock. Yes. They see me settling down, getting married as weakness. And they see you as my vulnerability. Then I'll be your strength, Barbara says. But I'm not hiding. Barbara. No, she stands, meeting his eyes. You don't get to push me away to protect me. That's not how this works. They could kill you. Marcus destroyed me without ever laying a hand on me. I survived that. I can survive this. Kong Min pulls her close, his arms fierce. You're insane. Maybe. But I'm yours. They spend 3 days in his secure penthouse while his people work. Barbara learns about his world. Complicated, dangerous, but built on honor in its own way. She sees him handle crisis after crisis with the same calm authority he brought to their first meeting. And she realizes something. She's not afraid. Not of his world. Not of the danger. She's only afraid of losing him. On the 4th day, Kong Min leaves for a meeting with the jock. It's neutral territory, he assures her. Witnesses. Protection. Just talking. You're a terrible liar, Barbara says, adjusting his tie. I'm an excellent liar. You're just perceptive. Come back to me. Always. He kisses her, hard and desperate, then leaves. Barbara spends 6 hours pacing the penthouse, imagining every terrible scenario. When the door finally opens and Kong Min walks in, whole, safe, alive, she nearly collapses with relief. We have an agreement, he says, pulling her into his arms. A treaty. They won't come after you. Or anyone I care about. What did it cost you? Territory. Money. Pride. He kisses her forehead. Worth it. That night, in bed, he tells her everything about the accident. About the drunk driver who hit him 3 years ago. The car flipping, exploding. Waking up outside the wreckage with a woman. Her. Pressing torn cloth to his wounds, talking to him, keeping him conscious. I asked your name, he says. You told me to shut up and breathe. Barbara laughs through tears. I remember. You kept trying to go back for your phone. I had important messages. You were dying. Not with you there. He pulls back, looking at her seriously. You gave me my life back. Let me spend it giving you yours. He slides off the bed, drops to one knee. No ring. No planning. Just them. Barbara Hayes, he says. Marry me. Not because of duty or family obligation. Not because I owe you a debt. But because I love you. Because you're brave and strong, and you make me want to be better. Because I searched for you for 3 years, and I'm not letting you disappear again. Yes, Barbara says immediately. God, yes. I haven't finished. I don't care. My answer is yes. He laughs, pulling her back down to him. I was going to promise no more secrets. Then promise that too. No more secrets, he says. And no more running. From danger or from each other? Both. She kisses him. Deal. Which brings us back to the beginning. To Kong Min frozen at the altar, staring at the bride no one wanted. To Barbara staring back at the man who searched for her across 2 continents. The officiant clears his throat again, uncertain. Kong Min, he prompts. Do you? Yes, Kong Min interrupts, never taking his eyes off Barbara. Whatever you're about to ask. Yes. Barbara's laugh is watery. You're supposed to wait for the question. I've been waiting for you for 3 years. I'm done waiting. The congregation murmurs, confused. Mrs. Park, sitting in the front row with Minji, starts laughing. Minji joins her. Soon the whole room understands. This isn't the wedding that was planned. This is the wedding that was meant to be. Barbara Hayes, Kong Min says formally, his hands shaking as they hold hers. You're supposed to be in Korea. In a hospital. That's where the bride, my original bride, is right now, recovering from appendicitis. Her mother called me this morning to cancel. I know, Barbara says. She called me too. Asked if I wanted to take her place. And you said yes. I wore her dress. Walked down the aisle. Figured you might as well marry someone you actually love. You're insane. You've mentioned that. Kong Min turns to the crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, there's been a change of plans. This is Barbara Hayes. She's not who you expected. She's a baker, not a socialite. She saved my life once, then saved it again by walking into my office 8 weeks ago. And I'm going to marry her right now if she'll let me. I'm already here, Barbara points out. Dressed for it and everything. Is that a yes? It's a finish the ceremony before I change my mind. The officiant, completely lost but gamely going along, begins again. This time when he asks, do you take this woman? Kong Min answers clearly. I do. Absolutely. Without question. Forever. And when he asks Barbara, she thinks of Marcus's text message. Of the humiliation, the heartbreak, the year of picking up pieces. She thinks of the ring she wore around her neck like penance until Kong Min took it from her. She thinks of pulling him from that burning car, and somehow, impossibly, having him pull her from her own wreckage years later. I do, she says. I really, really do. When Kong Min kisses her, the entire congregation erupts in applause. The bakery is bigger now, relocated to a larger space with floor-to-ceiling windows. Barbara slides a tray of fresh croissants into the display case, flour dusting her pregnant belly. The door chimes. Kong Min enters with their daughter, Ji-yoon, who's 2 years old and has her father's eyes and her mother's.